A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel. In this particular channeling session, we are going to talk about a divine masculine and feminine who are in a on and off situation. Like they come and they go, they come and they go, they come and they go. Now, what has happened with the divine masculine is like it was his decision to go away. He was upset with something she said. It really hurt his ego. And he just could not take it. He felt that if I'm going to talk to her after she has said all these things to me, then I would be really stupid, or I won't have any self-respect. Actually, it's not his self-respect that's making him say this, it's his ego. And he is still, he is obviously more mature than other people of his age, far more mature you can say, and he is a spiritual person also. He questions a lot of things. He doesn't want to do whatever he's told to do all the time, but he still cannot make all the decisions by himself. He doesn't know if what he is gonna do will turn out to be the right thing or not. But he's very pampered, he's very loved, and because of that he has developed certain amount of narcissistic traits. And people who are narcissistic or who have certain qualities or traits will in certain places go through this emotion where they simply cannot take anything. They cannot take a joke, they cannot take a statement. They get very insecure with it, or they cannot even take like somebody's just very random, very regular perception about something. Even if, say, there's a big paragraph that is being said, but they're going to pick up onto one or two words that actually do trigger them, because those are the areas they're struggling with. And the feminine, knowingly or unknowingly, just hit that spot. She said something to him which was something he was struggling with. And even though she didn't really mean it, it wasn't said in the way that he took it. It was probably said in a very different way. He got really upset with it and he decided to go away from her just on that. And this does not mean that he is not upset about it. He is extremely upset because he too feels that the divine feminine is the one for him. And even if he's not gonna confirm that like right away, he just knows that he really likes this girl. He's so into her. He thinks that she's extremely interesting. There's no one like him. He's never met someone like her before this. He may have met a lot of girls, but nobody is like her. She's just so different. He feels that. But still, his ego is so big. And this is like for them, they've just met each other some time back. They've just started out, talking to each other, connecting with each other. But he feels that as if he's very familiar to her. He just knows her pretty well. And at the same time, he doesn't know her at all. So there's a contradiction over there. But what he does is he fights with her or he gets angry with her and he tells her that I don't want to talk to you, just don't bother me, just don't message me, just don't call me and this and that. But after that, now on the other hand, what is happening is, you would know, the feminine is very sad and she's very upset about this whole thing. She's taken it personally. Actually, it's him. He has taken it personally, but she thinks that, and there's nothing she can do about it because he's blocked her from every possible place. And just a night before or just 2 days before, they were doing all the lovey-dovey talks and, making future plans. So from the feminine's perspective, now because this is not that old now, it is still fresh, she also sort of thinks that, okay, this is really strange. So she moves on from him faster. And the faster she moves on from him, the faster he would learn a lesson at his end. Let's understand that. So, in this particular situation, they obviously have coming and going again and again. But this particular time, she is like, I don't want to do this. Like, it's not a long separation yet for them. or you don't know if they will go through a long separation or not. But she thinks or she feels that, this is really immature, this is really stupid, and I don't think I can put up with this. So she moves on really fast this time, and she just starts doing her own things, whatever she loves to do, she starts enjoying. She's living her life. She has literally forgotten about him. And he, on the other side, who has already blocked her and he's mad with her, he's upset with her, he's also stalking her, by the way, while he's done all of this. He is like, what have I done? He's actually thinking, what have I done? Why did I act like this? And then the other side of him is saying, no, you did the right thing. You did the right thing, She was mean to you. She said something mean to you. And then he says again, well, it wasn't that bad. He's like, no, of course, it was very bad. She disrespected you. She humiliated you. And then the other side of him says, no, it wasn't really that bad. Did she really mean it? Maybe she meant something else. Why don't you just, maybe I should talk to her. And then, no, don't talk to her. Look at her pictures. She's so happy. She's hanging out with other people. And then he sees something like some video or some photo of hers. And he's like, oh, she's actually hanging out with so many people and things like that. In between, it might have also happened that he could have contacted her, or he could have called her, but maybe her phone was switched off, or it was not reachable, or something must have happened that she never really found out that he actually did call her in between. Nevertheless, from her side, she doesn't want to think about him because she feels it's very immature of him, to get angry on such issues which actually don't mean much. She's also not realizing that maybe he got triggered. In a way, it's good because it's best to not connect with them when they are triggered or when they run away. So, but he at his end is sitting and sulking, and he is feeling miserable about what he did, and he's confused at the same time. And then sometimes, it's like his brain is just fluctuating, on and off, on and off, on and off, up and down, up and down, up and down, and he's going crazy with this. He's literally what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I thinking? Why am I thinking all this? If I blocked her, if I gave her that straight up sign that I'm not interested in her, then why is it affecting me? Why do I care? Why am I bothered? What is wrong with me? To feel better in this situation, he is looking at their old chats and he's reading up old messages, and especially that goes back to the time when they just met, the first chats, the first talks, and he's feeling that's the only time he's feeling good. He's like, oh, this is so nice. Seriously, she was so much into me, then why did she do this? Why would she spoil it? Why would she ruin it all? He's blaming her, but actually he wants to blame his own self because now he cannot go back. This is the problem with ego. A lot of people have questioned me that why is my divine masculine not talking to me? Why is he not contacting me? Because remember, they have an ego issue. They have a very big male ego. And then when the ego starts subsiding, then there is a fear-based identity that takes over. Because of the ego, they have done so many things to her that now when the ego is dissolved, there is a time frame where they sit and think that, I did this to her, I did that to her, I was so mean to her. They realize it. So that realization phase is also not easy. Because then at that point in time, he hasn't really forgiven himself, or in some ways he hasn't forgiven the divine feminine. But actually it means the same thing. When the divine feminine, when the divine masculine forgives her, he forgives himself. When he forgives himself for overreacting, for getting angry, for triggering, for getting triggered, or for just looking at the wrong side, the negative side, the dark side, the shadow side, he feels that he should have looked at all the other things. So when he's looking at the messages, he's thinking, oh God, this ship has sailed. Now she's never going to come back to me. She's never going to forgive me. Now she's, so after a few days, the realization starts coming back to him that, it wasn't such a big deal, or I could have overcome it, or I could have just, not overreacted or not, said what I said or did what I did. So he is going through a very difficult phase right now because of this problem. He feels that all of this that is happening inside his head is literally driving him nuts. And he thinks about her all the time. And because he's stalking her, so he's looking at the videos, he's looking at the pictures. So he's not feeling good about it because she seems to be very happy. And she seems to be in a different world altogether. And he's also thinking that she has completely forgotten him. He's not realizing that it was he who didn't want to do anything with her. And still he's expecting her to remember him. So this is a very strange thing, and he himself realizes that. He himself feels that if I only tell her not to talk to me, why would she talk to me? She's obviously a nice girl, she's good looking, she's attractive. So she moved on very fast. She may have found some options. She must be meeting some maybe hot guys or good looking guys. So he is going nuts over it. He's going crazy over this. He doesn't know what to do. He feels like, how should I fix it? And he's thinking there's no way to fix it. Now, understand, this is opposite polarity. Why this is happening is because when he had blocked her or removed her from his life, just ignored her, just didn't talk to her, got really upset, she felt the same thing, that I can't do anything about it. If somebody's blocked me from all possible places, there's no way that I contact him, there's no way I can call him. And also it's a sign, like when someone blocks you, someone doesn't talk to you, it's a big sign that you should not contact them right that point in time, at that given time. So she has already gone through this, and this always happens that the first the divine feminine will go through all this, then she'll move on, she'll heal, and then it will happen to him. And this is exactly what is happening. But the only difference is that in this case, she moved on faster. So she is indeed meeting other people, she is indeed talking to other people, and it's not like she planned it out. It is all very spontaneous, it's just happening on its own. Like you go out, you're happy, you're looking beautiful, and somebody just spots you or something happens, you get introduced to a nice guy or a nice girl, you start talking. And then the person who rejected you is looking at you from a distance and going like, oh my God, I did not expect this. And in this case, why is it really troubling him so much? It's not because he's seeing her with someone. It's troubling him because he thought that he won't get affected by it. He won't care. He will just move on from it. It doesn't really matter. It's just another girl. It's just another chick. So what if she goes away? So what if I don't want to talk to her? She deserves it. She was mean to me. She said some nasty things to me. She called me this, she called me that. It could be anything, even funny. Maybe she called him a monkey and he didn't like it. Oh, how could she call me a monkey? Maybe he got triggered by that because when he was a child, maybe in school he was bullied and his friends, whosoever were bullying him, used to call him monkey. I'm just giving an example, guys. I mean, obviously, but you never know. With the DM, you never know. So he really didn't think of it as if it's going to affect him so much later on. And this is the reason why now he is more curious about her. Imagine after going away from her, after not talking to her, and it's been a while, this thing is happening. He's still wishing, or he's still hoping that maybe something happens. She was such a nice girl, like what did I do? Okay, fine, she called me a monkey, like an ugly monkey, or maybe he always had something to do with his looks, like some kind of trigger. It's not like she doesn't find him attractive. Obviously, she finds him attractive. So this whole thing that, he's getting affected by her absence and he's stalking her, he's thinking about her, that whole thing is actually troubling him a lot. Something inside his head is troubling him a lot. These thoughts are troubling him a lot. So on that note, I'm going to be closing this channeling session. Thank you so much for being here with me. One love and peace out.